Welcome once again to this week's Murfreesboro Real Estate Report. This is where we talk about all things Murfreesboro real estate. I'm John Turner, the team lead of the Turner Victory team at Onward Real Estate, and we bring you this report every week. So appreciate you checking in. As always, we ask you please go ahead, click below and subscribe. That certainly helps us out a lot. And also go ahead and comment for us too. We appreciate that. Give us a comment. Let us know what type of information you'd like to hear on this show. Certainly we bring you a lot of data, but if there's any other information you would like to hear from us, please let us know that in the comments as well. All right, so let's start out. What we've started doing the past couple of weeks, some of y'all really love this data, and y'all enjoy watching this for extended period of time, and we will continue to have our extended session where we actually look at all the data. But some of y'all have a little bit shorter attention span. Maybe you don't like all the charts, things like that, but you want some highlights of what's going on with the market. So what we've started doing is giving you the top three things that you need to be aware of for the Rutherford County and Murfreesboro real estate market for this week. So we will give you those four things or those three things. And actually this week we do have a fourth thing. So we have our top four this week. And then after that, we will dive in, look at the charts, let you see what we're looking at. And all that might make all this make a little bit more sense for you. First of all, pendings this week rebounded. We had the past 2 weeks, homes that have gone under contract has been down over the past, in comparison to the past 2 or 3 years. But we did rebound. We'll get into that chart here in a minute, but that was something we were paying a lot of attention to. Some of that has to do with what's going on in the Middle East right now. We have seen a little bit of relief from mortgage rates over the past couple of weeks. We'll get into that here in a minute. So all those things combined, pendings actually rebounded and were back on target and actually running a little bit ahead of some of the past years. Point number two of what you need to know about the Murfreesboro and Rutherford County real estate market right now is that new listings, not new construction, but new homes coming on the market, they are lagging behind past years. So last year we had 193 homes come on the market this time last year. This year, this week, 129 homes. So that is down 33%, a little over 33%. That is something that we have definitely been watching this year. We've got a chart that illustrates that very well. Point number three, our month supply. I will go ahead, spoiler alert, our month supply is 3.61 months. And that is the exact same as what it was last week. But what's really interesting is any price point above 500,000, our month supply, we have more than 5 months supply in those price points. So that is definitely higher than what we've seen. That tells us not only are we well into a balanced market, we're really getting into a buyer's market there. So very interesting looking at that. We will definitely keep our eyes open. But right now, anything over 500,000 has 5 or more months supply of inventory here in Rutherford County. The fourth thing that you need to know about, we've talked about the penalty for overpricing your home and how many more days it takes to sell your home. And the way we look at this is we look at homes that have had to reduce their price. Generally speaking, the reason why you reduce your price is because your home has not sold, correct? And that penalty in number of days keeps rising. And right now, it's a 58-day penalty. So homes that have had to reduce their price take 58 more days to sell than homes that were priced correctly from the start. So if you want to stay on the market 2 months longer, overprice your house. On top of that, we've talked about this. The data actually shows that not only does it take longer, in this instance, it's taken nearly 2 months longer, but generally speaking, you will net out less money. You'll walk away from the table with less money than you would have if you would have priced it correctly from the start. So those are the 4 things you need to know. Pendings rebound, new listings continue to lag. We have over 5 months supply of inventory in anything over 500,000, and there's a 58-day penalty for having to reduce your price. Now let's jump on over into the charts themselves and look at those. For those of you who like the visuals, like to see the charts. Right now in Rutherford County, we have 1,452 homes on the market. And that gives us, as I said earlier, 3.61 months supply. That's across the market. If you look, and remember these blue shaded columns, these are new construction. The NC at the top, hopefully you can see that. So for instance, under 300,000, we have 88 active homes on the market right now under 300,000. Only 2.3% of those are new construction. Only 5 new listings hit the market this week. None of them were new construction, but 13 homes went under contract, and 9 of them closed. So right now, under 300,000, only 1.79 month supply of inventory. And you can see that almost 15% of the homes that are on the market in that price point actually went under contract. Now, let's jump down here to something very interesting. I do want to point this out. If we look at the 600 to 700,000 price point, where we do have 5.12 months supply, we have 139 homes that are on the market right now. But interestingly enough, we had 14 homes come on the market and 14 homes go under contract. So 10%, a little over 10% of the 600,000 price range went under contract this week, which is quite a big number compared to what we've been seeing. So that is very interesting. I know those sellers in the 600,000s, that's something that is definitely pleasing to them. Because if you look at all these other columns, we have not seen double digits except for our lower price points. So, but total 1,452 homes on the market. That was 129 new listings that came on the market. 42% of those were new construction. 119 homes went under contract. 83 homes closed, and 85 gave up, pulled themselves off the market. They expired. Some of those will come back on the market. Some of them will not. But so that gives us overall 3.61 month supply. But again, if you look 500,000 right here and below that, we've got anywhere from 5 months all the way up to, if you're over $1 million or $1.5 million, we have a year's supply there. Let's jump over to the charts. They tell the story. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you here. So our active inventory. Right now we have 1,452 homes on the market. That's actually down just slightly from last week. So basically flat, but you can tell we're still quite a bit higher than what we were last year, even though we're kind of following the same trend. If you look, we had this build up and now a little leveling off. So it'll be interesting next week, see if it follows that trend of another slight decrease too. But it's so interesting right now. We have the 1,452 homes on the market, 1,323 last year, so about 130 more homes on the market this time this year than we did last year. But in the past 2 years, we were way down in the 860s and 841. So definitely a difference in our inventory levels. Our month supply we talked about, it's leveled off right now at 3.61 month supply, kind of following what we did last year, a little bit of a build up and then leveling out. If things hold true, we may see this build up a little bit more, maybe even touch 4 month supply over the next few weeks. Again, I can't predict it. I'm just looking at some trends here. New listings. Very interesting. It's been this way all year. We have been trailing behind. And remember, the orange is 2025. So the orange, for the most part, has been lower than anything 2025 or 2024 for most of the year. And if we pull off the 2024 numbers, except for a couple of weeks at the beginning and 1 week here at the end of February, our new listings hitting the market have definitely been down from last year. So that's one reason why our inventory is not growing more than what it is. Plus, pendings are up a little bit. So it's kind of weird. Our new listings are down, our pendings are up, but we're still seeing a little bit of rise in inventory, but not nearly as quickly as we would if pendings had not increased or if our new listings were continuing at levels that we had been at. If you look at the pendings too, we talked about this earlier. The pendings, for the most part, you look here, have been well above the past 2 years until 3 weeks ago. And we noticed that we started dropping down a little bit. The past 2 weeks, we were below anything we'd seen over the past 2 years. But we did rebound this week. 119 homes went under contract. So it will be interesting to see if this jumps back ahead of the past couple of years or if it remains below that. It's really hard to predict right now. And the reason why really goes back over here to the mortgage rates. We talked about it at the end of February. We finally, the 30-year fixed hit below 6%, and then everything broke loose in the Middle East. We saw a slight increase that first week, but after that, we started seeing about 0.1% increase. For 5 weeks, we went up on the mortgage rates. The past 2 weeks, we've gone down. We about not quite 0.1% each week, but we have gone down. So it will be interesting to see what the next few weeks hold. It's really hard to say. As I record this right now, I have no idea what's going to happen in the Middle East this week. Depending on who you talk to, either they're real close to a deal or they're not close at all to a deal. Things could escalate higher, things could de-escalate. And really, whatever happens over there will affect what happens here in Rutherford County as far as what happens with mortgage rates. Will they go back up? Will they level out? Will they go back down? I don't know, but our market right now is very sensitive to that. To say that it doesn't matter, it's halfway across the world. Well, it really does matter because it affects supply chains, it affects oil prices, it affects gas prices, and as we've talked about many times on here, mortgage rates are really affected by all the other financials that come out. The job reports, inflation reports, consumer confidence. There's all sorts of things. And every time one of these reports come out, mortgage rates go up a little bit or they come down. So it will be interesting. I do think that we are at a point, kind of a break point here where it could go either way. Obviously, I'm hoping that mortgage rates come down a little bit. It helps with affordability a little bit. But I will tell you that as a buyer right now, we still are much better off than what we were. Let me go back over here just real quick because even this is April 16th at 6.3. Let's go back to April last year. April 17th, we were at 6.83. And again, 6.3 right now. So we are still 0.5% better off mortgage rates than what we were this time last year. So even though they've gone up a little bit, buyers, you still have some opportunity. We've also talked about houses, if they've been on the market longer than a week, it's very possible that they're going to be on the market for quite a bit longer. So you have the opportunity to step back, make sure that you're making a good decision, and you have some negotiating power. Sellers, I can't stress it enough. We talk about it every week, the 3 Ps. You got to present it correctly. Buyers don't have to overlook anything. They're comparing you. You saw what percentage of our market's new construction right now. They are comparing you to new construction. You have to present correctly. You have to have an agent that's going to promote it correctly for you. It's going to get it out there, get it in front of potential buyers. And the most important thing you can do is price it correctly. The numbers are speaking loudly to us. I am very data driven, and you may or may not be, but the numbers are speaking to us. You have to price correctly. If you don't, there's a good chance you're going to be sitting on the market for quite a while. I hope this information helps you. A couple other things just real quick that I'd like to bring up. 32.6% of active listings, so nearly a third of the active listings have reduced their price, and they've reduced it by 3.7%. So just know that, if you have to reduce, not only do you have to reduce quite a bit because the market's speaking to you. But what happens when you reduce, it takes about 89 days to sell your home on average. If you don't reduce, if you price it correctly from the start, it takes about 31 days to sell your house on average. So that is a 58-day penalty for not pricing it correctly. But the good news is we do have a balance right now because homes still are selling, especially sellers who price it correctly. But buyers, you have a lot more choices too. So, as of right now, we are in a balanced market, and you get to choose what you want to do. If you're a seller and you want to go for top dollar, that's fine. There's some things you could do to try to get that, but you also may be sitting on the market for a while. If you're a buyer and you've been waiting to buy, you've got some negotiating power. So it's a good time to be in real estate in Rutherford County, Tennessee. We bring you this data every week. We hope that it helps you. Helps you make informed decisions. That's what we like to do at the Turner Victory Team, is help use this data so our clients can make informed decisions, because informed decisions are powerful decisions, and they certainly help increase the odds that you're making the right decision. So if you have any real estate needs, please reach out to us. I'm John Turner, team lead of the Turner Victory Team at Onward Real Estate. We're more than happy to answer any questions you have, whether you're looking to enter the real estate market or you just have general questions. We're here to help you. And we bring this to you every week. But until next week, we hope that you make it a great week. Thanks for tuning in.